What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rugged Adventures. I have a friend of mine who knows that I have an outdoor channel where we mostly shoot stuff, and he said to me, hey, I have some Humvee armor from the doors that I'm not using. It's just been sitting around. He was like, do you want to have that stuff? And I was like, yeah, I want to have some Humvee armor to shoot at. So what I got here is, I got this plate here, and he got this from a military contractor, and he thinks that it's a Humvee door. And you guys that have been around, that have been riding in these things for the last 20 years, especially in combat, you guys can let me know. Looks like they did some test runs on some stuff here. But when I asked him about what this was, he said that he thinks that this is A36 steel, which is, it's different than AR-500. Like, there's plates over there. Those may not look like much, but they're just rough cut AR-500. This is not as strong as AR-500, but it is probably, you know, good enough to stop bullets and such. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this out today. We are going to shoot the AK-47, because I figure probably a lot of these have been hit by AK-47 rounds. We are going to shoot the AR-15, but we're going to use the standard 55 grain full metal jacket and the 62 grain, I think it's M988, the green tip round, to see if it has any more effect on it than the regular 55 grain round. We also have the 6.5 Creedmoor. I think we have 140 grain rounds for that, to see if a bigger round would have any more effect. But to show you guys what these things are, this is a 1/4 inch of steel here. Same with this. This is also a 1/4 inch, but the thing that this one has on it that's different, for one, it's painted, and for two, it's got this, I think this is a Kevlar backing to prevent spalling. So I'm interested to see how that works out. I had a bunch of paint and stuff. I was going to paint these OD green, and you might be thinking, well, why would you paint them OD green? Everything right now is desert tan. But if you've looked around any of the military bases, or if you've been around any military production facilities, you're going to notice that we've gone back to the woodland OD green with a lot of stuff. So that might give you a bit of a pause to think about that and what that implies. But in any case, let's get to shooting these. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the like button, and I'm going to start hitting these targets. First up, the 40 caliber. I don't really think this is going to do much to it, but we'll see what happens. I think I hit it, but I didn't hear it ring. Yeah, that's funny. I think that Kevlar whatever on the back really muffles the ring. So let's take a look at that. I didn't expect that to happen at all. And when we look at this, you know, it hit there, knocked a bunch of rust off. But the backside, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it is, you know, not bulged or anything at all. On this one, you know, it hit and shot up as you can imagine with it sitting at this angle, although I think it was a little bit more up. But nothing on the backside. But it was funny, I think, that this had absolutely no ring. I thought that I missed the target completely until I looked and saw the, you know, the fragmentation there. So, you know, obviously these things didn't do anything with the 40 cal. Didn't think that it would. So let's test it against what has probably been tested by the most in the last 20 or I don't even know 30 years. What the Humvee came out sometime in the 80s. So let's shoot it with the AK-47, see what that does. Alrighty guys, AK-47, full metal jackets. I don't know, we're about 100 feet, 75 feet away, something like that. We'll see how this does against that Humvee body armor. Let's take a look. These are the AK-47 hits. We got 3 hits here, and actually they put a pretty decent little dent in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but definitely dented this up. And on the back side of here, again, it's going to be hard to see because it's rusty, but like right there, and right there, we have, I don't know, a millimeter or two of deflection there. And then on this one, we had a hit there, we had a hit there, and a hit there. These are our 2 40 cal hits, and absolutely There's like the most minimal amount of depression in this. I'm thinking this may be AR-500 plate. I don't know. There's no stamping on it to let me know in any way. But then again, on the backside, nothing. And I think that this Kevlar membrane, again, is really, it's either strengthening it. This is AR-500, but it definitely does not have the ring of a typical target. So next, we'll load up the typical 55 grain 223, and we'll see what that does versus the AK-47. We're using the standard 223 5.56 round full metal jackets, 55 grain. And like I said, the AK-47 has more muzzle energy by about 800 or 900 feet-pounds of energy, but it goes at a much slower speed. You're talking like 2200 feet per second versus like 3200 feet per second for this. And this, you know, I'm sure if you guys are watching this, you guys have probably seen, if it'll focus on that, how much larger the AK-47 bullet is than the 223 in the AR-15. However, when you take that and you take that much smaller area, much higher speed, impacting that, maybe we will end up getting more of that energy concentrated in a small space and be able to do more damage. Let's see what happens with the typical 5.56 full metal jacket, 55 grain, nothing special. Here we go. Let's take a look and see what that did. Definitely much easier to put repeat rounds on target with this than the AK-47, and it looks like our light's fading out. But definitely much easier to put you know, successive rounds on target, no question. All right, guys, this is crazy, and I fully did not expect this. Look at this thing. That is where we shot with the 5.56, and again, look at how much easier it is to put a decent little pattern in versus the AK-47. You know, red dot versus iron sights, yes, but you know, it's just so much easier. Punched through it like a hole punch, despite having less muzzle energy but a much higher velocity, putting it in a much smaller area than these 7.62 39s. You know, it went right through like nothing, like cheese, man. I mean, it hardly even has any blowout on the back. Like, it just went immediately through. On the other hand, these are our hits from the AR-15, the 223 full metal jacket, 55 grain. Didn't even scratch the surface, really. There's some little pieces of and we're getting in the shadows now, little pieces of copper jacket stuck to the thing there. Absolutely no deflection on the back end here, which leads me to believe that this piece here is actually a piece of AR-500 with that Kevlar backing, and I am not sure what this is. If someone has more information than I do on what A36 is rated for, that it would be a huge help, because like this stuff over here, we've been shooting this from the same range for just years and years and years. And you can see, I think these were from some green tips. This is, like I said, AR-500 steel, and it has a little bit more give to it, so it's not held in place like that. But we will get the green tips out. I'll put a couple through this thing right here, but and that's my phone going off all the time while I'm trying to film. And we'll put a couple in there and see if it can punch through there with a green tip. And we'll see what happens. Green tip 5.56. The difference between these and the other ones, those are 55 grain, these are 62. These have a steel penetrator on the tip of these things. And they're not armor piercing rounds. Again, for my YouTube reviewer guy out there who gets these across the finish line, hit the like button for that guy or girl or whatever. For one, we're at a private range again, my private 52-acre shooting range farm, whatever. But these are not armor piercing. They were actually just developed to try to be able to penetrate helmets at longer ranges better than the typical 5.56 round. And they do that, you know, because it's got that steel penetrator on it. It's a little heavier, but that comes at a cost of speed. These come out at about 200 to 400 feet per second slower than the originals, and they have some ballistics to them that is not necessarily desirable in all circumstances, and a lot of times these will over penetrate because they have the penetrator on there, and so instead of tumbling and such, it'll just go straight through a target instead of doing more damage. So let's get these loaded up and see if we can punch through that piece that I think is AR-500 with the Kevlar on it. I'll put one in the other one just to show how it eats through it like butter, and then we'll see if the 6.5 Creedmoor can do any more damage. Here we go. I think that one made a little spark going through. Let's do that again. That was cool. That's neat. So we'll go down there and see what kind of damage it did. I did let the sparks coming off of there. That was kind of cool. I like that. Let's see what we got here. Holy cow. As a matter of fact, these did not, the penetrators did not go through this part. These are the ones that we shot at this steel target. These were the non-penetrators. These are the just the typical ones. These have the steel cores, and they did not go through. That is crazy. The backside, let's see if these are hot. No, they're not too terribly bad. There's little dimples where these ones hit, but they didn't go through. And I think that's sort of, I didn't expect that. And so this is where we hit this target with the steel core penetrators. And you know, it looks like you would probably get like where you're hitting it too much of an angle there, but from our shooting stand up here to here, that's probably almost a perpendicular angle, and so I don't think it got any advantage by the armor being thicker or whatever, but it didn't touch this stuff. Whatever this is made out of is heavy duty steel. There's nothing that's going through that. What I want to do next, I want to try the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm going to try to put one like right up in here with it, and then I'm going to try to put one somewhere in here, and we will see if that can do anything to get through this this chunk of metal, whatever the heck it's made out of. Just to give you guys a reference of the different size of these bullets, this is the AK-47 bullet that we were using, 7.62 by 39. This one here, this little guy, is the 5.56. What is that? 5.56 by 45. This is them together. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor bullet. So much larger bullet, much more power, slightly larger in diameter than the 5.56 by like 1 millimeter, and slightly smaller in diameter than the 7.62 by 39. These ones are going, let's see, about 2,700 feet per second, and the muzzle energy about 2,200. So it kind of puts it right in the range of the AK-47 as far as muzzle energy, but at a much faster rate with a much smaller bullet. I don't know why it keeps going to black like that, but let's get this thing loaded up and put a couple rounds in, see if there's anything that can kill that smaller target. First up with the bigger one. And put one on the smaller one. Let's go see what kind of damage we did. Not surprisingly, it blew completely through this plate here. I mean, you know, it's like a hole punch put through it. Didn't even have that much deformity in the back. There's not even really any bowing up of the metal. I mean, it just cleanly sliced right through it. On this one, again, we are undefeated. This is where we hit it. It has the slightest of indentation there. Absolutely nothing on the back. I mean, maybe something, but I think I'm just, you know, imagining that myself. And, you know, this is the point in most YouTube channels where they'd say, let's get out the 50 cal and shoot it and see if we can go through it that way. Well, guys, I don't have a 50 cal yet, but with your help and with subscribing, liking this video, sharing it with other people, we can get that 50 cal to see what this thing is able to actually withstand. I really want to know what that thing is made of, because it has taken an absolute beating today and has not given up, you know, hardly an inch. So guys, that's it for the day. We're going to come back and try to get something to shoot through that. I don't know what it is exactly it's going to be, but we're going to get something to go through it. So, you know, stay tuned. I appreciate you guys watching today, and I will see you all on the next one.